Hi everyone, my name is Adenike. You're welcome to my channel. This video today shall be the sewing part of our bustier top with yoke, which I've already made a video on how to draft and cut it. I'm going to put the link in the box below for you guys to watch and understand. Now let's get into it. Now guys, I'm done cutting my fabric. As you can see, here's the front part and this is the back part. This is the yoke of the front part. Can you see that? So I added ½ inch on the shoulder, armhole curve and ear too for my yoke, and I cut it on fold. This is the front yoke. So here is the side of the front and this is the center front. I added ½ inch all through this shape. On the bottom part I added 1.5 inch. I did the same thing here, add ½ inch all through here, 1.5 on the side and 1.5 on the bottom. I added ½ inch here as well, but my lining is shorter than 1 inch than the fabric, so I have 2 pieces of the lining for the side and 2 pieces of the fabric. As for the center front, I have only 1 piece of the fabric and 1 piece of the lining. So that is it for the front part. Here is my back part. As you can see, this is the yoke of the back part. I added ½ inch on the shoulder, on my armhole curve, on the down part of my yoke, and here too I added ½ inch all through. This is the down part of the back part. As you can see, I have 2 pieces of the fabric and 2 pieces of the lining. So I added ½ inch here. On the upper part here, I added 1.5 inch side seam and 1.5 inch on the down part here. I did not add any seam allowance here because I've already have 1.5 for my zipper allowance on the back part. So that is it for that. So I will now go ahead and cut wording for the bust area of my front. So here's my center front and here is my side front. So I'm using this wording. I have 2 pieces of this wording here, which I've already cut out. So I'm going to show you how to do it now. I have 2 pieces. I'm folding each of it into 2 like this. I'm going to fold it into 2 and place it on each other. Just for you to see, let me put it on this brown paper. You know my table is white. So fold it into 2 and place it on each other like so, because I'm having 2 pieces for each fabric, because I'm going to add this wording only on my fabric. So I'm just making it, I'm folding it, place it on each other, let it align very well. So I'll now place my side on it like so and cut it out. Let me straighten up the down part here, because this down part is going to fall, my underbust is going to fall on it. Do not let your wording or bust part, do not let it pass under bust, just to make this under bust straight very well. That is why I have to trim it out. So I'm going to place my side front like so, and I'm going to target my under bust. This is where my under bust is, so I'm going to just trace it out. Trace it out on this wording like so. I'm going to cut it out, and mind you, on the side here, make sure you have about 2 inches. 2 inches from this original and not from the same allowance. 2 inches, leave 2 inches before you, can you see it? This is where my wording is starting from, 2 inches. Leave it on the side here before you cut your wording. So I'll go ahead and cut it now. Let me just remove it to make it easier for me to cut. So I'm cutting the shape out now. Make sure you don't make any mistake. So I'm using 2 pieces for each side. You know, I have soft wording here, not thick. So I've cut it out. Can you see that? I'll just make these underbusts around it like this. Make the side round like so. Just give it round shape. You know, our bust is not straight, it's round, just like this. As for the upper part here, let me place it on this. Let me remove my paper. Before I remove my paper, I'm going to notch my under bust just to serve as a guide while sewing. Notch it a little bit. Here too, I'm going to notch it. This is my bust point, just to serve as a guide while stitching my chest line. So, and the waistline too, make sure you notch it a little bit, just a little. So after doing that, I'll now complete the cutting of my wording. Can you see? Let me remove my paper for you guys to understand very well. So I'm removing my paper, and this is it. This is what we have for this. So on the upper part here, I'll just leave about, we are going to stitch it. I don't want my stitching to to touch my wording. I'll just cut out like 0.75 from the upper part here. I'm going to cut it out for me to leave my sewing allowance on the upper part here on my fabric. So that is it on the side. I'm making use of 2 pieces for each side. So I'm going to place it like so. So, and make sure you let the gum side, let it face the fabric. So this is for this, and this is for this. Now that we have cutting out the side, let me spread it out to explain how I'm going to go about it. So this is my side back now. Can you see? I put my lining aside because I'm not adding interfacing on the lining. Is it? Can you see? I'll just place it like so and gum it on the wrong side of my fabric. This is the gum side. I'll just place it 2 pieces for each, don't forget. So now this is the gum side. Just place it like so and gum it with your iron. After gumming the first one, you place the second one, the gum side, let it face the wrong side of the first one, just like this. Just for you to gum it down and make sure you place it very well. Leave your seam allowance on the upper part here. So gum it this way, and I'm going to gum this one as well. Follow the same process I explained here for the second one. So I'll just use my pen to hold it down now. Since there is no light now, no power supply, I'll just go ahead, move ahead to my machine and give it this tiny stitch on the bust area here on both sides. So after doing that, I'm going to, let me explain the center front too before moving on to the sewing aspect. So this is my center front, and here is the wording for it. My fabric is folded into 2, and my lining too is folded into 2. I'll just place it on it like this. Can you see? I folded my wording into 2 like so, and I'm going to fold it again since I'm using 2 pieces and it's on fold. So I'll now place this is the folded edge and this is the open edge, as you can see. Can you see that? This is the open edge of this wording. I'm going to place it on it like so. Let the under bust align on this bottom part of my wording. So that is what I'm doing here. Do not let it exceed your under bust, please. So I'm going to trace it out just like this. After tracing it out, I'm removing this and cut it out. So after cutting, this is what I have. I'll now place it on this right side, on the right side here. On the paper here, for me to show you how to trim your seam allowance out. On the upper part here, just measure like I did on the front part, like 0.75 seam allowance and cut it off, because I don't want my stitching to touch my wording on the upper part. So I'll just cut it out now. And now that I've achieved what I explained, I'll just open this place up. Since it's 2 pieces that I'm working with. So I'm going to open it up here. So this is my center front wording now. It's 2 pieces. So I'm going to remove my paper, but before removing my paper, I'm going to notch all these lines, my chest line, my bust point line, my under bust, just a little, and my waist to serve as a guide while sewing it. So I'm going to remove my paper now, just like this. So this is my lining, and I said my lining is shorter by 1 inch than the fabric. So this is my fabric, as you can see. So I'll go ahead and gum my interfacing on the lining, on the fabric, not on the lining. So open it up like so. This is the wrong side of my fabric. I'm using the gum side of my wording. I'm going to place it on the wrong side like so. Make sure you leave your seam allowance on the upper part here, and make sure the down part of your wording is aligned with the under bust. We've make the notch in there, so it will make it easier for us to fish out our under bust. So I'm just trying to set it very well. So let the gum side face the wrong side of your fabric, gum it, the first one, then the gum side, let it face the wrong side of your wording like so, just for you to gum the two on this bust area. So I'll go ahead and pin it down. I have excess on this side here. I'll just trim it off like so. And since there is no power supply, I'll just go ahead and give it a tiny stitch on both sides here. But if there is a power supply, you can just gum it down easily. So I haven't done that. After gumming or stitching my wording to the fabric, what I'm going to do now is to just place my center front like so. This is one of the sides. Can you see? I'll just place it like this. I'm trying to trim the excess one, so I'm placing both sides like so. Can you see? So I'll now place it on each other like this. Let me turn it for you to see it very well. This is going to be for this side. This is the bottom of my top. Just letting you see how I'm going to put it together. So I'll now go ahead to my machine, place this one this side like this, let the right side face each other, then start your stitching from the bottom here with ½ inch till you reach the upper part here. Just follow the shape you have there. So I'm doing the same thing on the second side of my front, just like this. Let the right side face each other and stitch from the bottom till you reach here. Just follow the shape. That is it for the fabric for my front part. As for the lining, I'm doing the same thing. Now I'm done doing the front part, as you can see. Can you see that? I later realized that there is going to be a bulky on the bust area here, on the apex of the bust. So I had to remove the seam allowance that is on the wording that I used as breast part. As you can see, I did not add any seam allowance to it. I cut it off before joining it. So I will now notch all the necessary area. So after notching, here's the lining as well. I've joined it together. So I'll notch all the necessary area here, all the seam parts. So after notching, I'm going to open the seam and iron them. I'm going to open it flat and iron. Give it a good press. So I'm doing the same thing on the lining. So after doing that, I will now go ahead and join my yoke to it. So I'll find the right side of my yoke. So here's the right side of my yoke. I'll just place the right side. I'll let the right side of the yoke face the right side of the body like this. So I'll now let the center align here. I have sweetheart neckline there. So I have sweetheart shape there. I'll just pin it down on the center here. So I'll now go ahead to my machine, start the stitching from the center here with ½ inch till I reach here. So I'm going to repeat the same thing on the side here on this second. Now I'm done with the yoke, as you can see. Can you see it now? So what I'm going to do now is to do it like this. Hold it to be on the body like this and place my lining on it like so. Let the center align like so and use pin to hold it. It's like this. I'm going to let the center align on each other and I'm going to use pin to hold it. So I'll go ahead and stitch from here, from the center here, till I reach here with half inch. After stitching this side, I'll move ahead to this side and stitch from the center till I reach here with half inch. Now I'm done joining my lining to it, as you can see. Can you see that? So what I'm going to do now is to notch it, all this place. I'm going to notch it to make it lay very well. I'm going to notch it. So after notching all through, I'll just open it up like so. I'm going to open it up like this and top stitch on the lining till I reach here. I'm done top stitching, as you can see. I intentionally used the black thread for you to see my stitch. Can you see that? So what I'm going to do now, this is the wrong side of my top. So what I'm going to do now is to just hold my lining to meet up with the bottom of my top like this, just to let the right side of the lining face the right side of the top of the fabric like this, and stitch the bottom with half inch. Now I'm done joining the bottom together, the fabric and the lining. I've joined them on the bottom here. So what I'm going to do now is to just stitch, join it on the sides as well from the upper part here. So let it align, let the lining and the fabric align on the upper part here, and stitch with half inch. It's going to be folded, the fabric is going to be folded on the down part here, since I'm using the lining to turn it on the down part. So I'll let it align here and stitch both sides with half inch. Now I'm done stitching both sides, as you can see. So I left about 3 inches open here for me to bring it out to the right side. So I'll go ahead and turn it to the right side. Take your time while doing that. Now turning it to the right side, as you can see. So here's the right side and this is the wrong side. What I'm going to do is to just top stitch on this part that I left open for me to bring it out to the right side. That is it for the front part. So after doing that, I'll go ahead and give it a good rest to make it look more beautiful. Here is the back part. Now this is the pattern paper for my back part. Make sure you place it like so to serve as a guide before you stitch it. So this is how my pattern paper is looking like on my fabric. I have two lining here and two fabric, as you can see. So this is how it's going to be. And let me turn it like this. This is my yoke, just to let me know where my yoke is starting from. The pattern paper is serving as a guide for me. So this is my yoke. I added half inch for my yoke. So this is where my yoke starts. The shape of my yoke started from this that leg. So I have half inch here for seam allowance on this side of my yoke. So this is how I'm going to place it before I move ahead to the machine and stitch it. So I'll easily remove my paper now, just like this. So, but before removing it, let me mark where my yoke is going to start from, because I have to hem my yoke with bias before stitching it to my, I'm going to hem it here before stitching it to my fabric. So this is where my yoke is starting from. So just want to indicate it on the fabric and the lining to make it easier for me if I want to stitch it. So that will just start, it will just serve as a guide for me if I want to stitch my yoke. Automatically, this is where my yoke is going to start from. This allowance is here, this allowance here is for my hemming allowance. So I'll go ahead now and use bias to hem here before, here and here, before moving on to the next stage. Now I'm done hemming my yoke, as you can see. Can you see that? So what I'm going to do now is to place my yoke on the fabric. This, let me just separate it since I've already marked where my yoke is going to start from. Then put my lining aside. This is my back now, and this is my zipper side. Can you see that? So my yoke is starting from here now, because I'm placing it on the right side of my fabric. So it's going to be like this. Hope you can see what I'm doing. This is my yoke. Can you see that? So make sure you always get what you are doing before, get it right before you stitch. So this is how it's going to be. I will easily place my yoke like this. Let it align with where I marked here. So I'll stitch with half inch. So I'm doing the same thing here. Let it align. Let me even use pen to hold it down. Get it right before stitching, please. So, and this is my lining. What I'm going to do is to just let the right side of the lining face the right side of the fabric like so. And you see that. You now easily stitch from here to here with half inch. That's just it. I'm doing the same thing here. Place it like so and stitch with half inch from here to here. Now I'm done stitching like I said, as you can see. So what I'm going to do now is to just pull my lining to meet up with the bottom like this and stitch with half inch on the bottom. I'm doing the same thing on the second one. Now I'm done stitching both on the bottom here. So what I'm going to do now is to just, this is the upper part of it. Let it align on the upper part like so and fold it like so on the bottom. Can you see that? And I will now stitch with half inch on both sides. So I'm doing the same thing on the second one. So I'm done stitching both sides, as you can see. So I left about 3 inches opening here on one side, and I'm going to bring each of these two parts of the back out from this opening. I'm done with this one. So where I left open, I'm trying to bring all the angles out very well. That is how I'm going to turn this one too as well. So where I left open here, I will now go ahead and top stitch it like so. After top stitching, I'll go ahead and stitch my darts. So I have to place my paper on it like this for me to mark out my darts. So this is my side seam allowance. Can you see that? You know, I added 1.5 inch for my lining on the back part here. So I will have to let it remain 1 inch for my zipper on the center back here. So let me use what can be visible. Let me use my pen so that for you to see what I'm marking. This is my zipper allowance line and this is my side seam allowance. Can you see that? So this is where my dart, my nipple to nipple is, where my dart is starting. So I'll just use this paper as a guide for my dart. So this is where my dart is starting from the back part. And this is my waistline. I'm going to fish it out like so. My waistline. And I'm going to let it reflect on the bottom here. So this is my waistline, as you can see. Let me just get it right. My nipple to nipple, half of it, my nipple to nipple line. There is it. Can you see that? That is how I'm going to do on this second part as well. So I will now fold it like so. I'm going to fold it for my dart. So I'll now go ahead and stitch my dart from the upper part here, where my dart is starting from. I'm going to stitch it slantly till I meet with the waist here. Let it reach half inch on the waistline, as you can see. I'm just using this pen to let you see what I'm about to do. So I'm going to finish it up till the down part here slantly as well. Can you see that? Just let it reach half inch on the waistline. So that is how I'm going to do on this second part as well. Now I'm done stitching my back dart, as you can see. So I'll go ahead and attach my zipper to it. You know, I've used half inch for the lining. The remaining 1 inch will be for my zipper. So I'll go ahead now and attach my zipper. So here's the zipper I'm using for it. Can you see that? So I'll go ahead and attach it now. I'll now come and show you what's next. I'm done with my zipper, as you can see. Look how beautiful it is. There's the wrong side of it. Can you see that? So what I'm going to do now is to join my two shoulders. This is my front part. So I'll go ahead and join my two shoulders with half inch. Let the right side face each other and join the two shoulders with half inch. Now I'm done joining the two shoulders, as you can see. So I'll go ahead and use bias to finish up the neckline. After doing that, I'll let the right side of the front face the right side of the back and stitch both sides same. You know, I have 1 inch for my side seam. I'll just follow the shape on the front part for my stitching on both sides. Now I'm done hemming my neckline with bias, as you can see. Is it? Can you see that? So let me zip it up for you to see the finishing look of it. So I'll now go ahead and fix my desired sleeve. You to go ahead and fix your desired sleeve to it, and you're good to go. After fixing my desired sleeve to it, I'm going to give it fine. I'm going to give it a good press all through. And after doing so, this back part on my neckline at the center back, I'll just fold it in once like this, fold half in once like this, and top stitch it. I'm doing the same thing here. After doing that, I'm going to tack my hook and eye to it for me to be able to put it together whenever I put it on. So that is it for this top. As you can see, I'm done with it all through. So I'll go ahead and attach my desired sleeve and give it a good rest. Attach my hook and eye to it, and that is all for this tutorial. After doing all that, I'll put it on for you to see the finishing look of it. If my video has been helpful to you guys, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel to support my channel. If you have any question pertaining to cutting and sewing, you can join me on my Facebook group, Taste to Sewing, created by Akorede Adenike. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Akorede Adenike. Please show some love by liking and following my page on Facebook at Akorede Adenike Sewing Tutorial. Till I see you in my next video, guys. Stay safe, stay blessed. Bye.